One thing I've heard from a few people is, I would start a business, but I don't want to be a salesman. What's going on there?
Impossible. If you're going to start a business, you are going to be a salesperson. Otherwise, your business isn't going to be around for very long. Everybody's selling something. Product, service, experience. It's just one of those things. You go to Disney. You go to a Disney park and you get off a ride. 9 times out of 10, when you get off that ride and you want to go out into the main street of the park again, you've got to walk through a souvenir or a gift shop of some variety. They're selling you. It's very subtle. It's passive, but they're selling you. And the vast majority, and to use just to stick with Disney, by the way, I'm a big Disney fan. I'm a dad. I've got 4 kids, 2 are adults now, but it's tough to be a parent and not, love Disney, right? And I love Disney. I think they're a great company. But boy, do they know how to sell. Disney are one of the best companies on the planet to sell. And there's just no way that you can start something, not worry about making money and not make money, but you can't call that a business because a business makes money, right? You can call it a hobby. I've got enough hobbies. I prune bonsai trees. That's a great hobby. I love my bonsais. I play with Lego sets with my kids. That's a hobby. I collect Pokemon cards. That's a hobby too, right? But none of those things make me money. Well, actually, probably sold a few Pokemon cards before. But other than that, my business is my business where I make my real money. And so I don't think it's possible to start a business and not be involved in sales, particularly initially anyway,
What did you mean when you said that creating content is selling?
Well, because when you publish that piece of content, you're selling somebody on either A, your opinion, or B, the ability of you being able to help them in some capacity with the content that you've created and published, right? So, if we use you as an example and what you do on your YouTube channels, you are helping people to live a more productive, a more fulfilling, more joy-filled life. That's your jam.
That's a good phrase.
Yes.
we should steal that.
Yeah, let's write that down. I know where to send the invoice for
Absolutely,
that.
yeah.
But no, and that's your jam. That's what you're all about. And you create content every single week that you put out to an audience that's growing over, every single month. Your audience gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Because you're selling them on the idea on how you can either educate, entertain, or inspire them. And every single piece of content that we create are one of those 3 things, right? Also, every single time you hit publish on a YouTube video or publish on a podcast or publish on a blog post, every single time you do that, you're creating a business asset that will live for 24/7, 365 days a year to help you grow your business. It's an asset is what that is. And it's a money-making asset as well. Because it only takes one person finding a video that you published 2 years ago to fall in love with what you're all about. They then go and buy your book. They then go and buy one of your courses. And before you know what's happening, as and when you potentially decide to do it, you've opened up your mastermind. It's 50 grand a year to be a part of it, and they've jumped on board. All because of one YouTube video that they found randomly, because that's a piece of content, and you sold them. You sold them on why Ali is so great and why they need to follow you.
Yeah, I always think of videos as assets as well. It's like, we've made a few videos where, like, one of our videos, it's got like 10 million views. Even just on AdSense income alone, that video has made over £100,000. It's just utterly ridiculous because to make £100,000 from property, you would have to either flip a property, buy it at auction, do a shit ton of work on it, and then flip it for 100K, or you've got like 30 years worth of yield to get to 100K in property.
Right. Yeah.
And yet this video that took half an hour of planning, an hour of filming, and someone else a few hours of editing has turned into this ridiculously valuable asset.
Yeah.
And over time, over the last 6 years, we've made 580 or so videos just on the main YouTube channel, all of which are directly passive income generating assets, but they're also generating, tomorrow someone could watch a video I made 6 years ago because they're applying to med school and be like, oh, I want to check out more of this guy. The algorithm's helping as well because often people don't even have to make an active choice to watch more of my stuff. But if they've watched it and the algorithm knows that they watched enough of it to register as an interested viewer, it will surface more of it to them.
Yeah.
And it's just this magical, like, virtuous cycle that just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, when we look at like monetization of a personal brand, you've got things like courses and coaching and consulting and speaking and writing books and masterminds. And in your case, because you're creating content on a regular basis that's going out to a mass audience, you've got things like sponsorship, Google ads, or rather, what do you call it? YouTube
AdSense,
ads, AdSense, all that kind of stuff. Like those things, like the sponsors that are jumping on board now are going after putting something in front of your audience as it is right now. But what you, the sponsors, and even your audience members have to understand and really appreciate is that those sponsors, as great as they're going to be and as helpful as they're going to be to your current audience, are only here because you've busted your ass doing what you do every single day to create all those mini assets that are ultimately going to mean that they want to part with money to get in front of your audience. So that's something that you need to celebrate as a content creator and as a personal brand as well. This is not in any way, shape, or form, and like this is not out of the blue. Like this isn't something that's just come out of nowhere. This has been slowly but surely having a compound effect on your following and on your influence as a personal brand for a long time. And the companies that end up and sponsor this show or any other show for that matter, they're getting the benefit of all that hard work.
Hey friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, then click here for the full unedited episode. And if you like that, then do please consider subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.